Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. And last time out, we started to do all of the final friendship episodes before we head off to take on the final dungeon of the game and the true final boss kind of thing. So last time we talked to a whole bunch of people, and this part we're talking to a bunch more. So we're starting off with Sora. So yeah, every time you get their maximum or their final friendship episode as well, you do get an achievement for that, a trophy. That was the one which just popped for June, because I didn't do June's in my first playthrough because he's kind of difficult to get a hold of. So anyway, Sora's kind of feeling a little bit apprehensive, thinking about all the things that she needs to do, and so she wants so she wants Ko to kind of help her out by doing a bit of meditation with her. And I think it's also her way of trying to... It's also her way, I think, of trying to help Ko kind of settle down and relax before the entering the final dungeon the next day. So yeah, it's pretty much what she's saying here, that you know, she doesn't really know what to say at this point, but she still wants to help us out and make sure that we can succeed in you know, in doing what we need to do. So yeah, but that's kind of, you know, that's something I kind of like about this game, that we kind of she talks about how we helped her to overcome her own war, you know, which we saw in the game, which we saw in the friendship episodes leading up to this point. And so it's kind of nice that she's now trying to do the same for Ko at this point, that he's got a wall that he has to climb in order to you know, in order to save the world from all the shit that's going down. He has his own personal wall that he has to overcome, and she wants to kind of help him out in any way that she can. So yeah, she still says, yeah, she wants to help us out, help Ko out and make sure he can overcome what he needs to overcome. Yeah, I think that the racial relationship that Ko has with Sora is probably my favorite in the game. I just love how how cute they are with each other. It's such a nice relationship. Anyway, so now we're going to talk to sorry, my brain. So now we're going to talk with Mr. Gorou. He's kind of out on his own, kind of wandering off to have a little bit of a smoke. To be fair, he probably needs it, considering what's going to be what he's going to have to be dealing with the next day. So probably best to have a little bit of a smoke before everything goes to shit. Yeah, this is another thing which I like. You know, that was a bit. The mentioning the watch is a bit of a callback to an earlier friendship episode that we had with Mr. Gorou, where he had this watch that his deceased fiance kind of gave him, and we helped him kind of find the parts he needed to get it fixed up. So I kind of like how we call back to that here. Yeah, so he's talking about now how he couldn't save Futaba, couldn't save his fiancée, but Ko, you still have your chance. You can still save Shiori and get everything back. So go at it with everything you've got, buddy. It's basically his point. I wouldn't sell yourself short there, buddy. I mean, you've done pretty well so far. Yeah, there you go, mate. He's got a point. Don't sell yourself short. You've beaten a whole bunch of breeds and greeds at this point, so just got to keep going. Yeah, I kind of like this little thing again. Basically saying, you know, if you hesitate, if you are struggling to overcome what you need to overcome, then I'm going to be the one to push you forward to make sure that we can continue onwards and get this shit sorted out. And again, it's a rather sweet little conversation in the end with Gorou. I kind of like as well about this conversation as well, what I kind of like is that Gorou has already kind of experienced what Ko could potentially experience with Shiori, kind of already experienced losing someone to this kind of garbage. You know what I mean? So I kind of like how he gives the information of sorry, I kind of like how he kind of pushes that kind of angle to it of, you know, this is the kind of person that you could turn into if you kind of fuck up, so don't fuck up. I kind of like it that way. I will say this is kind of weird, because I've been playing recently in my free time. I've been playing through the Trails of Cold Steel games. Currently on number 3, slogging through it. No, they're a great series, but fuck, they're long. And it's just kind of weird that it's just kind of weird how they basically just take Towa's. There is a character named Towa in the Trails of Cold Steel games, and they basically just transplanted her model and gave her a slightly different hairstyle and glasses, and that's pretty much all they've really done. Weirdly enough as well, she's also the short ass in the group as well, so it's kind of bizarre just looking at this now. That they've just basically taken somebody's model. Kind of weird. They don't do that with any other character. But anyway, so now we're talking with Towa, and she drinking something extremely sweet, which Ko couldn't really handle, and couldn't understand how she could drink it either. Yeah, sorry. So here Towa basically talks about, ever since she found out about this stuff, she kind of had to become the leader, not the leader, the kind of the overseer for the XRC, because you know, she once she heard about what was going on, she wanted to fight alongside Ko and help him, but obviously doesn't have the capabilities of doing that. So this is kind of the next best thing for her, of being the advisor to the XRC and helping prepare everybody, and also helping, you know, fix Ko up when he comes back hurt and that kind of thing. So I kind of, so again, it's a sweet little scene. So yeah, she is actually his cousin. I keep forgetting that. I kind of keep forgetting that they're actually blood related. You know, because not, I don't know why, it's just they seem more like, I guess their relationship to me is more like long-time friends rather than family. That's how it comes across to me anyway, a little bit. Yeah, basically Towa saying, you know, I'll be here waiting for you for when you come back, and I'll look after you. So yeah, with Towa's, we don't actually get any, she doesn't have any, it's kind of weird. She doesn't have a friendship kind of bar. She doesn't gain experience in the same way that than all the other characters do. Which, you might say that, well, she isn't a combat character, but the thing is, neither is Ryota. And he still gets, you know, he still gets experience, so I don't really know where that decision came from, but whatever. So yeah, now we're meeting up with Yuki. What I kind of like about when we meet him, his final friendship episode, is that he's actually doing something useful. He's actually trying to find ways to gain access to Pandora, the final dungeon of the game, which I kind of like. I kind of like that he's, you know, using his gifts to try and find out another way into the dungeon, which doesn't require us like barreling through a bunch of enemies. I only use 70% of my skills. But again, I really like this scene as well. This is a really nice scene that kind of plays up the fact that they're more like brothers at this point. Like, kind of, Yuki's kind of like a younger sibling to Ko at this point. And so, you know. And so I kind of like the fact that he's kind of like playing a game, you know, with Ko to kind of take his mind off things and to try and help him to chill. I like that little addition at the end. Wow, that's don't hold back there, Yuki. Yuki, what do you want? And again, I like this, the fact that there's a bit of character development here for Yuki. That, you know, he's now willing to go back home, you know, sorry, trying to be a bit more, bloody hell, sorry. You know, he's trying to reconnect with his family a little bit more, even if he's saying that he's not going to make up with his dad. He's still going to try and do things for, you know, do things to help out his sister. Well, if that's what his sister wants him to do, then that's what he's going to do, basically. So I kind of like that it shows he's kind of grown as a character. It also says a little bit about Ko as well, that Yuki is thinking about moving on and kind of progressing and improving himself, whereas Ko's kind of more like he just wants everything to go back to the way it was. Yay, thank you, Yuki. Okay, this scene. So yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, I think you need to be at least rank 4 with Shiori by this point in the game if you want to see this cutscene from what I remember. But basically, when you look at this on the menu, basically it's like a question mark. And when you go in here, there's like a shiny spot on Shiori's desk. And when you select it, this is when Ko kind of goes, starts to reminisce about Shiori and maybe blaming himself a little bit that maybe there was some signs that he was seeing that in Shiori's behaviour that could have led him to kind of a different outcome. And yeah, there was a little extra scene as well, which is where he saw the sky all red and ominous back in his childhood. So yeah, he's starting to get his memories back from that time during the Great Disaster 10 years ago. So, and that is going to play into the final dungeon, but no spoilers. Moving on. This is something else I kind of like. At this point we kind of see a whole bunch of pictures of Ko and Shiori from their time in the past, in the recent past, while she's talking in this letter about what's going on, about her worries and feelings and all that kind of thing. And yeah, all of this, all the stuff that she's talking about here and all the pictures, they do come into play in the final dungeon as well. So, but we will see what happens. Yeah, this is this is kind of getting a little bit close to the bone here, game. So yeah, this is basically her confessing her feelings to Ko. She kind of wrote it in a letter and then never really had the courage to kind of tell him about it. Never had the courage to kind of give him the letter. How this hasn't been noticed up till now, I don't know. You know, kind of how Ko is the one to find this letter. After all this time, it's kind of it's a big coincidence. Okay, that might be more foreshadowing. We'll see. And Ko feels the same. That's kind of an understated thing there. It's kind of a big deal. He basically feels the same way as Shiori does. But yeah, it's basically a little bit of a thing that he has to get it back no matter what. Renewed, a bit of a renewal of his motivation. And as a gift to Tetsuleto, you get the blue boot mark, which I think is a pretty good accessory, actually. But anyway, that's going to be it for this part. Join me next time when we'll be finishing off the final bit of the friendship episodes, and then we'll be going on to the final dungeon. So yeah, see you next time.